All right, coming at you with a very classic blues technique that you hear in a lot of blues songs like Stormy Monday and tons of other tunes. So this is a really cool trick to use. It's cool when you're just jamming by yourself or when you're learning one of those blues songs. So I'm gonna base the idea off of A, but of course this could be in any key. So typical blues, right? You have A7, then you have the 4 chord or the D7, which could also be, anywhere you want to play it. And then you have the 5 chord, which would be E7, which could be anywhere you want to play it. So those are the basic 3 chords that we're going to use. And the trick that I want to show you is this. So basically it's this little triangle shape that we kind of do this little sliding technique. And it's up to you if you wanted to pick, or pick, slide, or even grab the fret in the middle and go chromatic. You don't have to pass it without playing it. You can strum all 3 frets if you wanted to. So what that is, just so you know, not that you actually need to know to play this classic blues riff, it's basically a little minor triad where this 3rd finger note is the root. So in this case, that's an F sharp. This is a little F sharp minor triad going down to a E minor triad. So essentially, you're playing an A7 chord and then following up with those 2 minor chords right after it. And those are the 2 that would follow the A7. So like one way you could think of it as when you're playing this chord, the fret that this 3rd finger is on is where those 2 fingers need to be. Not the same string that it was originally on, but just as a visual marker, we have 2nd finger on the D string, 7th fret, 1st finger on the G string, 6th fret, 3rd finger on the B string, 7th fret. Now, it doesn't have to be those fingers. It could be these fingers. 3rd finger, 2nd finger, 4th finger. So it's really whichever way feels more comfortable to you. So that's the idea. Now, when you go to the other chords, we go to D7 next, or here. This way becomes the easy way to see it, because if you play D7 here, once again, where this 3rd finger is, that's where that double stack goes. So it kind of maps it out for you. That doesn't mean you have to play the D7 chord here. You can play the D7 chord here and then still slide up, or try this other trick. Now those 2 little minor chords look a little different if we do them on the high strings, the 3 high strings. This is exactly the same thing as this. So if we grab the D7 here, or chromatic, or you jump up here, it's really whichever way you want to do it. Most of the time, you kind of try to stay as close to the chord as you can. So if you play this D7, maybe you do this, unless you want to make the big slide. However, you could always do this D7 and play it here. So when we get to the last chord, the E7, we could play it here nice and close by and do the same trick. Or we could make the big jump to where the triangle shape would be if we did this. So that's kind of the idea. Pretty much whenever you have one of these dominant 7 chords, A7, D7, E7, or other keys, F7, doesn't matter, you can always answer the chord with one of these triangle shapes or the little bar shape, as long as you go to the right place. And you know, especially in a blues context, that's where this is gonna shine the most. So you always have these options. That could also be if we'd use this A7. D7, option 1 here, or option 2 up here, where this would be. And then you kind of just bounce through them one at a time. Chord 1 to the 4 chord, maybe back to the 1 chord again, and then do a walk down from chord 5 to chord 4, like a typical 12-bar blues kind of pattern. And you can do that little double strum, or just one. It's up to you, and you could add riffs in as you see fit. We're in an A blues, A dominant, right? So A major pentatonic is going to work beautifully. And then when we get to D, maybe D major pentatonic. Here comes the E, in this case E9, and we can go up to here, or here, and then the D. So that's our blues trick for the day. Give it a shot.